In Flip-Flop Valley, morning arrived on a ribbon. Every dawn, a glowing band of coral, gold, and blue unrolled from Sunrise Hill and painted the sky. Zuri was its keeper. She was a giant coral red panda, taller than the bell tower, with cream-colored cheeks, bright teal boots, and a striped tail as wide as a wagon. Zuri loved helping, but she always helped alone. Big paws can handle big jobs, she liked to say. So while the valley slept, she climbed the hill, gripped the sunrise ribbon, and pulled. Houses sparkled awake, teacups warmed, even the waterfall stretched and yawned. Everything was perfect, exactly as Zuri planned. On parade morning, the sunrise ribbon caught on the silver sky bell. Nib, a tiny green hummingbird inventor, zipped around the knot. "Wait, it has 3 loops," he called. "Gold over blue, coral under gold, then loosen the star clasp." Zuri heard only gold over blue. She planted both boots and tugged. Puff, a round cloud lamb, floated closer with a cushion of mist. "Maybe we should all," he began. "I almost have it," Zuri grunted. She pulled harder. The bell leaned. The tower wobbled. The ribbon stretched across the valley like a giant rubber band. For one breath, everything went silent. Then, twang! The sunrise ribbon snapped into 9 brilliant hoops. The hoops bounced across Flip-Flop Valley, and wherever one landed, gravity changed its mind. A blue hoop rolled through the bakery, and muffins floated from their trays. A gold hoop skipped across the river, and the waterfall poured upward into the clouds. A coral hoop bounced through the farm, and chickens paddled through the air as if it were a pond. Puff tumbled past upside down, bleating, "I meant to do this!" Parade carts lifted from the road. Chimneys pointed sideways. Zuri caught one hoop on her tail and gave a relieved grin. But it split into 2 smaller loops. Nib hovered beside her nose. The colors must be caught in order. Zuri was already leaping away. Zuri bounded from roof to floating roof. Her huge tail became a spring, a bridge, and once an umbrella for 6 surprised ducks. She grabbed a gold hoop before a blue one. Boing! The schoolhouse flipped upside down. She caught coral before gold. Whoop! Every boot in the valley flew off and formed a marching cloud. "I can fix it," Zuri called, chasing 3 hoops at once. Nib flashed colored signal lights, but she did not look. Puff stacked soft clouds beneath her, but she jumped past them. Each hurried grab made another gravity bubble. Soon, the valley looked like a snow globe being shaken by an invisible giant, and the grand parade wagon began drifting toward the dark opening called Hollow Sky. Zuri sprinted along an upside-down waterfall, sprang from a moon-shaped weather vane, and sailed toward the wagon. Families clung safely to its ribbon rails, while drums and lanterns spun around them. Zuri stretched both paws, but her striped tail tangled around 3 sunrise hoops. She swung beneath the wagon like a giant pendulum. Below her, or perhaps above her, Hollow Sky swirled with cold blue wind. Zuri pulled alone. The knot only tightened. Nib shouted a plan, Puff offered a cloud, and the villagers held out their scarves, but Zuri's cheeks burned. Then the wagon slipped another inch. Zuri took one slow breath. "I cannot do this alone," she said. "Please, help me." The valley became quiet enough to hear Nib's wings. "First, we map the colors," he said. He traced 3 glowing arrows, blue, gold, coral. Puff puffed himself into a chain of cloud cushions beneath the wagon. The bakers tied aprons to the farmers' scarves. Children linked jump ropes to parade streamers. Zuri listened to the entire plan. Then she repeated it. Nib calls the color. Puff catches anyone who slips. Everyone anchors the wagon. I collect the hoops in order. Nobody laughed at her for needing help. Instead, the villagers cheered. Zuri's shoulders felt lighter, even while she held a wagon the size of a house. Together they practiced 3 words. Call, catch, connect. "Blue," Nib chirped. Zuri waited for his green light, then launched from Puff's cloud. She tucked into a furry wheel, rolled through the sky, and caught the blue hoop around her waist. "Gold," Zuri repeated. The villagers pulled left as she swung right, and the gold hoop slid neatly over the blue. "Coral!" Puff bounced Zuri high above the bell tower. She caught the coral hoop with the tip of her enormous tail and landed on a cloud as softly as a feather. One by one, they gathered every runaway loop. Floating muffins returned to trays. Chickens descended into hay. The waterfall curled downward again. Only the grand parade wagon and the final star-shaped knot remained suspended over Hollow Sky. The last knot glowed brighter than the sun. Zuri tried a gentle pull, but it would not move. Nib examined the star clasp. "It was never made for one pair of paws," he said. The ribbon had hundreds of tiny handles, one for every creature in the valley. Puff carried the handles through the air. Birds gripped them with beaks, rabbits held them with paws. Even the ducks wrapped handles around their middles. Zuri waited until everyone was ready. "Call," shouted Nib. "Catch," sang Puff. "Connect," answered the valley. On the 3rd word, everyone pulled together. The hoops opened into streams of colored light, weaving over and under one another until the sunrise ribbon was whole again. Morning finally swept across Flip-Flop Valley. The rescued wagon floated gently to the road, and the upside-down parade became the most wonderful parade anyone remembered. Muffins bobbed from balloons, ducks danced in teal boots, Puff shaped clouds into crowns, while Nib rang the repaired sky bell. The villagers gave Zuri a new keeper sash, woven from hundreds of tiny ribbons. Across it were the words, "Many helpers make a bright morning." From then on, Zuri still used her big paws for big jobs, but she began each sunrise by gathering her team. She learned that asking for help did not make her smaller. It made every friend stand taller beside her. And every dawn shone brighter because no one had to lift it alone. The end.